Well, welcome back to another SNG Selfie. It's Friday. We didn't give you a show this week, but we're going to give you a little bit of a selfie about what's been going on this week. And what we've been doing this week is working on the movie and filling orders from our store. We don't often get orders from our store, but we had a couple this week, and I had to cast up some new figures and do, of course, a Cochrane and a Spock bust and make some base molds, and we've been doing a lot of running around and getting prepared for our final shoot of Martians Attacks SNG, and we managed to get all the live action done working with Uncle Ted and Tom Piedmont, who is shot by this time most of the movie. I just got through editing, and that took up a lot of time too. We took all the footage that we shot and edited together in Adobe Premiere, and it really cut together quite well. Uncle Ted was a natural. It's really great to have him back in the film. Of course, Doug Drexler was way too busy with his schedule to be able to be in our film. He was going to be, he consented to it, but then said, gee, Steve, so we got so much going on. I'm working 7 days a week and it just can't happen. And of course, Bob Burns, who was originally supposed to be in it, is sadly become so ill, he has not been able to attend any functions or go to any conventions, let alone work on our movie, so he had to pass on that as well. But we did get Uncle Ted. We had to pull basically our thumb out of somewhere and get the film done, and which is what we're doing. And right now a friend of mine is working on animation for our CGI Martian. And yes, we are going to have the practical puppet in it too, but when you see what this CGI Martian can do, you're not going to think it's CG. Trust me. Over here right now I'm running off a rough of the entire movie, and we do have the entire movie. There's not a bunch of black holes anymore, although there are a lot of effects to finish still. The credits have to be redone because the players and the names have changed, but right now I'm rendering off a copy to send to Gary Hughes so he can shoot his scenes where I'm talking to him on a radio. So here's the Spock bust that's going out to Chris, and of course this is going off to Jamie in the United Kingdom. You can see how nice our base are and stuff. I believe I covered this in the last selfie, and of course I also was working on this painting, and this painting is not finished nowhere near. The astronauts just blocked out. The Earth is getting there, and we're just started working on the Milky Way, and this is based on the new screenplay that I'm writing currently called Reach, which you're going to be told more about. We have a friend of mine working on the spaceship design for this movie that you will all know immediately when I mention his name, but I'm not going to tell you quite yet who that is. We're very honored to have him working on this project. And also, I am trying right now to get in touch with some of the actors that were on Voyager and, of course, Next Generation to see if it's possible to get one of them to play the role in this film, because it's one actor in this film. The whole movie is going to be shot right here on this stage, and the rest of it all happens in space. But you're going to find out more about Reach as we progress, because we are going to finish Martians Attacks SNG probably in the next month. Back to the Enterprise, it's pretty much what it was the last time you saw it. We do have 2 rooms inside here, and I'm about to start placing a lot more rooms inside, but we still have a lot to do on this. And of course, I've had various comments about the structures inside are too large, and this is wrong, and that's not right. And you know what, guys? Pretty much when you're at the museum, you'll be lucky to get this close to the model, and really things are all over the map with these models and sets when it comes to the actual sets versus the model versus the location of the turbo lift. And there was a lot of controversy about that, and you can see the turbo lift is actually over here. This is how it was. If you take a look at that frame grab that was posted, that was taken from the shot used in the pilot, you will see that the screen was facing forward, the turbo lift was over here, and that Matt Jeffries had always meant for it to be facing forward. So that's how I'm doing on this model. That's my own personal choice. There is nothing set in stone in Star Trek when it comes to this set doesn't fit inside that set and all that kind of talk. The same thing with the Nautilus. You cannot fit the sets that were built by Disney inside the model. But Andy Probert did a pretty good job of it, but we'll talk about that another time. And in fact, these interiors and their sizes of these pieces were made off of plans that were out of the Starfleet book that was done long ago. Those were plans that basically showed the inside of the shuttle. And what I did is I enlarged those to fit this, and that's the size they came out. So maybe they should be a little smaller, I don't know, but you know what, I'm happy with it the way it is, and everyone else is too. We have our new communion bus coming out very shortly. I've made one of these so far, but this is going to be a new deal altogether because we're going to have the Marvel base on it, and it'll be from this mold. We'll be able to produce this type of base, and it will be on that base, except it'll be this one here. Much like this, which the new Spock bust is now on, and this is now no longer rubber. If you want a rubber one, I can still get you a rubber one, but you know, these made out of the resin will basically last virtually forever. And keep in mind that the communion bust you can still get. I'm the only one authorized by Whitley Strieber, my dear friend Whitley, who I've known for years and years, gave me sole permission to produce this image in a sculpture and no one else. SNG is the only one that has it. And you've seen what these look like finished. They're beautiful. You can go to our store. This one has not been finished yet. Likewise, Doug Drexler gave us permission to produce and make the Cochrane sculpture from his original sculpture, the statue used in Enterprise. And of course, the Spock bust is ours that I sculpted myself, and it's also available. Now, I know you noticed this in the background, and yes, it is one of the original castings out of the molds from TNG. I do plan to make a mold on this, and I may make a few available, but not many. It's a possibility. And likewise, I also have this wonderful Romulan phaser that Uncle Tom gave me. So these are some of the things that we have in the store. There's going to be more coming all the time as we produce more product here at SNG. Now I'm going to attempt to get back to the Cooper T-73 formula car and get a little bit of work done on that, and then I'm going to do a little bit of work on the Enterprise, and it's going to be the end of the day. It's quickly approaching that. I did more editing and more stuff on the film this morning, and this is going to happen. I'm going to work every other day on the film. So I'll work one day on the film, one day on models and the stuff in our store and the other projects we have going here, so that I have a constant variety of work to show you throughout the week on our SNG show, or SNG experience. I also want to thank Lou Damalso for sending us this package. I'm going to open it up and show you what it is. And here's what's inside the package. Lou Damalso, thank you so much for sending us the Aztec dummy graphics necessary for the Museum of Science Fiction's 66-inch long Enterprise model that I'm building from my original molds. Now these are window masks, which are going to come in real handy when I'm painting, and these are the cages for the insides of the buzzards. There, finally. I'm a bit tired today, folks. And these are the top of the saucer section markings here you'll recognize. These are other markings that go on the hull. And of course you recognize these markings and all the rest. There's not a lot of markings on this model, which is really nice. But these are incredible transfer vinyl decals that we used on my original first model, and they are very, very good quality. And here I'll show you what mine look like almost 4 years later. 4 years later, you can see that these are laying down just perfectly. The edges are not peeling up. Everything is just really staying down very, very nice. Lou always does a fantastic job. These decals are not showing any worse for the wear at all. They're just beautifully staying attached. I've never, ever had a problem with these. And if you need decals and transfers, Lou is really the guy to go to, in my humble opinion. So that's what the model will look like when it's done. But of course, ours is going to have, or the museum is going to have a lot of really cool stuff in it like rooms and windows and hangar bays, but we'll talk about that more. And Steve Dix from Germany, thank you so much, my friend, for sending us, or me, on my birthday. Finally, I went to the post office. They evidently wanted me to pick up your package in Simi Valley, which is a good hour from here, and that was a while ago, and I got another notice the other day, and it looked like it was the same package. I thought they had sent it back to you. In fact, they did not. They actually brought it back up here, and this time it was at the right post office, right around the corner, where I could go pick up your package. And what Steve sent was this painting that he did of Nimoy as Mr. Spock. These are really high quality prints he sent that are beautiful. I will show you the other one as soon as I can get it to lay flat. And here's the other painting, which I really love. I have not seen this before, Steve. This is new to me. I love this. We will frame both of these and put them up here at SNG with pride and honor. You notice what I had to use to keep them flat, because they're curling on me, so I need to get these to lay flat, and we will get frames very shortly and put these up. Steve, thanks so much. Really, really, from the bottom of my heart. Love you a bunch for doing that. And I figured, as long as I'm sitting here in the Entity Bay, I would show you guys a little bit of Uncle Ted in action. Well, we shot a lot of stuff, driving scenes, me getting to Uncle Ted's house, and the whole bit. But this stuff's pretty fun. Let me show you what this is, because I really think you're going to find it quite fascinating.
Oh, I'm quite fascinated. What is this? Where'd you find this thing?
Well, remember those Mars Attacks cards years ago?
Oh, yeah, I remember those things. Those were cool.
Well, the other day I showed the cards to Mary, and this piece of paper fell out. And it had the plans to build this. Go ahead.
So you had plans?
Yeah, but I thought, this will never work. I can never... That's as much as I'm going to show you. I've showed you guys a lot already, all kinds of little tidbits, but that's going to be it. Here is our 1/32 scale Cooper T73 body from a 60s Formula One car. I have never done anything this small before. This is quite a challenge. I want to thank Chris for all his help. It's shaping up really well. There's still a lot to do, but you can see I got the fairing in now for the engine cover. I left this open here. That's where the screen's going to go. I'm hoping Elliot can come up with something for that. It's supposed to be a screen that bubbles over that, but this is really starting to shape up, and it's very, very symmetrical, and I'm very pleased with it. Still a lot to do, lots of scribes. Got to mark where the axles come out. There's little flares that go around those. There's lots of stuff, but now I got to this point, I could really start working on that stuff next week. Really nice. And here you can see that this is transparent because it is actually a screen, Elliot, if you're watching, and it's like a little bubble that goes right over the whole thing. So we've got to get that happening somehow, some way. I even thought about just pressing screen, but I'm sure we'll come up with something. Did a little bit more work on the painting. It's starting to get some color in on the astronaut. There's still a lot to do on here. I tell you, cars, dogs, and everything else, cats and dogs living in the street, total Armageddon. But there you can see the Milky Way, and it really isn't that hot. I don't know what it is about these cameras and what it does to make things look so overexposed. When you back up here, you can see it's way, way brighter than it should be. But we're going to see this finished next week, and I'm much, much, much more pleased with it now than I was. So there I am editing away at today's selfie, and I realized I didn't shoot an ending. It's been a long week. In fact, it's been a long month because we've been so busy on the film. I'm trying to get it finished and writing a screenplay in my spare time for the movie Reach. It has been extremely busy, and I'm eternally grateful to be so busy, because really this is what keeps you young. This is what keeps you frosty and keeps you alive, is enjoying the work that you love so much. And I couldn't do it without the love and support I get from all of you. Mary and I both love you a bunch, and thank you so much for supporting SNG the way you do, and keep it coming, folks, and we're going to give you some great stuff to enjoy. Anyway, have a great weekend, and I'll see you back on Monday.